Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So excited to have you guys here. Welcome to Morning Mantra again. So today is Thursday, November 18th, 2021. And today I'm going to be pulling from the Moonchild Tarot, which is actually a newer to me deck. I got this deck last weekend, right before I pulled tarot cards for another grand opening locally, which was really exciting. And so I am loving the energy of this deck. It's also by Danielle Noel, who has her own line. We've done a ton through Starlight tarot with her, but she's also the illustrator for Rebecca Campbell's Work Your Light Oracle deck, which is really, really beautiful. So I'll be pulling from there. Oh, I got two cards that I pulled out this morning. So we'll be pulling from here, and then we'll also be talking about the energy for tomorrow. And tomorrow is the full moon, tonight into tomorrow. And this energy starts what's called eclipse season. And so we are going to be talking about what that means for you, what that energy means for you. We're also going to be talking about the specifics for tomorrow. So it is a full moon, lunar eclipse in the sign of Taurus, which is a whole lot of energy that's just going on. Let's see. So the first card that we got is Divine Wisdom. So this, much like some of her other decks, it has the exact same elements. So they're still the major arcana cards. They're still the exact same amount in the deck. They're just worded a little bit differently. So Divine Wisdom is this reminder that you know the answer. You know exactly what it is that you're supposed to be doing. You know, your intuition knows. And what I love about this card, a number of things, but it has that the doctor symbol, except that it's not just the symbol for doctors, it's also the symbol for Kundalini energy. And so the serpent goes up and around through the chakric channel in the center of our being. And so the chakric channel in the center is what we call Sushumna Nadi, which runs up and down through the center, the current of energy that runs up and down through the center. And then the two on the side are Ida and Pingala Nadi. And so that is like the left and the right, the masculine and the feminine, the sun and the moon. And it's just this idea that's like tying everything in together. And I really feel like we got this card because sometimes we know the answer, but we don't want to know the answer. So you know the answer. You know exactly what you're supposed to be doing. I promise you, you know exactly what you're supposed to be doing. So really listening to your intuition, listening to your heart, listening to your own inner knowing, whatever it is that you want to call it in here, really tapping into that this week, because it's going to be important for you to hone in on your intuition and to hone in on what you need. The next card that we got, and I have to say, this card I have been in this deck associating really strongly with like romantic love, I guess, or if not romantic love, the energy of a very strong masculine personality in your life. And so I feel like this is like king energy, right? And that's the card. So we got the King of Cups. And cups rule water. They rule the element of love and relationships and emotions. And so I'm really just feeling like this particular King of Cups is someone that's going to come in and just be an incredible part of your life. And that could be a romantic partner. It could also be uh, someone that has really strong masculine energy that is here to uplift you or support you in a way that feels supported and that feels um, beautiful and expansive. It's not someone that's going to come in and sweep you off your feet like a knight in shining armor, because that's not what you need. That's not what people need. It's this energy of like someone coming in to support you and to love you, because he rules nurturing, diplomacy, strength, generosity, emotion. The King of Cups is he's the most feminine, masculine card in the deck. And yeah, I really feel like this is someone with a ton of masculine energy, and it could be someone presenting as female who has a ton of masculine energy. It could be a male that's presenting with a ton of masculine energy, but it's gentle masculine energy. And they're coming in to, again, to support you, to just be here for you. So recognize when friendships or romantic relationships feel like they're all going to be really on par this week. And then the last one that we got is the moon. And the moon is this idea of, in some of my other decks, it's like illusion, like being careful that we're really seeing what's actually in front of us. But in this one, it's more, in this particular deck, it's more an idea of like gentler shadow work. And if you can see here, it's the hawk, it's the ram, it's there's a woman up here that's hovering over the moon, giving a little bit of Reiki. There's wolf energy, so it's both a white and a black wolf. And to me, in this deck, and the way that this is translated in this deck, is this idea of like the mystery, but the mystery in a good way, not like in a disillusioned way. And just recognizing that you don't want to go too far into that. You don't want to go so far into this disillusioned energy, right? You want to like play with the esoteric, you want to play with the tarot, but don't rely, I say this as I'm reading you tarot cards, don't rely so heavily on the tarot. Like, don't pull a tarot card for every decision. Don't ask your friends and family for their opinion on every single decision. Like, really listening to your own inner wisdom, right? So playing with the esoteric, playing with this idea of the shadows and the mysterious and the fun, and knowing that you're supported, right? Look at all of those guides that are on here. So knowing that you're supported, knowing that you're loved, but also remembering like you're the ones that know. You know what you need. You always know what you need. And then again, just know that there could be somebody with like really strong masculine energy that kind of comes in sometime this week and is loving on you, so to speak, right? It doesn't have to be romantic love, it could be, but they're coming in to love on you. So let's switch gears a little bit and kind of talk about what's this week. What are we up to this week? And so tomorrow is, as I mentioned before, the lunar eclipse full moon in Taurus. So what does that mean? The lunar eclipse is a huge lunar eclipse today. I think that they said that there was like, you're going to see less than 3% or something. So it's going to be absolutely beautiful, absolutely crazy. And it's in the energy of Taurus. And so this particular full moon is bringing up what we need to release in terms of our stories. So Taurus energy is this grounded energy that rules like materials, that rules body image, that rules wealth, that rules your money story. And so, what are the stories that you have created for yourself around those things? So, do you love yourself so much that you wake up every day and you're like, I've got this. This is it. We're good. I know exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. I feel good about life. Everything's amazing. Like, is that how you wake up, or do you wake up and you're a little off, right? And knowing that there's nothing wrong with that, but that you can shift your story so that you accept and you love yourself even more deeply, so that you really tap into honoring and loving yourself for where you are and where you're going. Okay. So this full moon is going to really challenge you because it'll be helping you to channel your emotions, your imagination into a positive direction. For this one, I want you to start changing your money story and don't do as much spending today, and maybe tomorrow, just being kind of really cautious and conscious of how the inflow and the outflow of your money is happening. Like, what is happening with the inflow and the outflow of your money? And so the second thing with that is that I really want you to tap into this idea of self-care, self-love. What can you do to nurture yourself? What can you do to love yourself? So I'm going to pull up a journal prompt from my teacher. And it just, we went over this week in my moon medicine group with my incredible women's group that I have. And I really, 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 really love this. It said, how do we validate ourselves and know we are worthy and valuable regardless of how we conform to standards of desirability? I'm going to say that again. How do we validate ourselves and know we are worthy and valuable regardless of how we conform to standards of desirability? So to me, it's this idea of, what are your core struggles? Like, what are your core struggles around your body image and around your finances? And how do you nurture yourself? How do you validate your own self instead of looking for that external validation? So I really feel like that's partially why we got the divine wisdom card and the moon energy card, because it is so beautiful to have a little bit of that external energy. It is so beautiful to have some of that like esoteric tarot cards, that like fun yogi energy, the woo-woo energy that I give you guys all of the time. But you also need to tap in and listen to your own intuition, because you need to nurture you, and you need to validate yourself, right? No more looking for that external validation. And additionally, how can you support yourself this week? And I've been asking my students over and over this week in class, how do you support others? How do you support others? Do you give them hugs? Do you send them care packages? Do you send them words of encouragement? Do you call them on the phone? And if you're doing that, is that being reciprocated back to you? Has that been reciprocated back to you? So again, how are you supporting other people? And how is that being reciprocated back to you? So for me personally, what that means, I like to think about it in terms of love languages. My love language is physical touch. And so I will say to my friends, I need a hug right now. Like I need you to sit next to me right now. I need to just lean my head on your shoulder right now. And that's really important to me. And that's what I need in this moment. I remember really early on in the pandemic, my neighbor upstairs, who's a really good friend of mine, is also a single mom. And in the very beginning, when the governor kept announcing things, it was like they'd announce something and then they'd wait 2 weeks, and then they'd announce something and then they'd wait 2 weeks. And then like 3 days later, they'd announce something else in the very, very beginning. And I remember one day she came down and we're in my kitchen and we're having a cup of coffee. And she goes, I need to tell you some bad news. Do you want a hug first? And it was at that moment that I realized that I really did set myself up for success, because I showed her how to love me, like what I needed to be loved, because I need that, right? And so how are you supporting other people, and how are you receiving support this week? So that's going to be a really big piece of this lunar energy, lunar eclipse, full moon energy, is that as you're releasing and as you're kind of discovering what it means to let go of the stories that you've told yourselves around body image and wealth and worth, how are you validating yourself instead of waiting for other people to do it? How are you supporting others, and are you allowing them to support you in a way that you need to be supported right now? So again, it is the lunar eclipse, full moon in Taurus. And that energy is really about devoting time to relaxation, to self-care, to being really conscious and cautious about how we're spending our money the next couple of days, and starting to restructure and rewire our thought process and our stories on what we think in terms of our worthiness for self-worth. And so one more thing that I'm going to say here on the full moon is that this full moon is going to correlate 6 months from now. So whatever you're working on, like letting go, or whatever you're working on calling in right now, that is going to manifest fully in May of 2022. And anything that you have been working on since May of this year, since May of 2021, it might have manifested by now. It might be here now. So I want you to think back to the time around May 11th, 2021, and think like, is there anything that you were working on in May that may have come true? And is there anything that you still need to work on? And if there is, know that that will likely begin to come to fruition around May 30th of 2022. So it says Taurus rules core values, material wealth, worth, and body autonomy. So we have so much of that external pressure in our world. And how can we validate? How can we love ourselves? How can we shift our money story? With all of that said, the mantra that I'm going to teach you guys today is a mantra for self-compassion and for compassion to the world as well. So we're also chanting and we're giving that out to the world, but it's really today, this one's for us. So as we start to bring in this energy and as you start to chant, I'm gonna have you get comfy. I'm gonna have you get in like a simple seat, or if you're watching this and you're laying down, you can lean back. If you're driving, don't close your eyes if I ask you to close your eyes, obviously. But I invite you to come into this space and to know that if you are listening to me chant, that's just as beautiful and just as valid. If you are starting to chant and you're not sure you know the words, number one, they'll be written here. You can come back and repeat it and listen to it later. It'll be in the description after the video posts. And secondly, if you don't get the exact pronunciation right on the first try, that's okay. It's about intentionality. So if you come into this with the idea of compassion and love and self-love and self-worth, you're in the right spot. And if you come into this with the right intentionality, it doesn't matter what the pronunciation sounds like right now. And then the last thing is, if you do chant, if we are all chanting together, if everybody is coming into this and starting to chant together, the more we chant, the more this vibration is going to be heard by the world. So Wayne Dyer used to say that if we chant just even once, that we're going to change the vibration. I think of like 20,000 souls or 200,000 souls or some beautifully huge number. But this idea that if you chant, you begin to shift the vibration in your immediate world. So right now I'm affecting like my furniture, my living room, my dog. Don't know where my cat went. But I'm shifting the energy and the vibration in my home, right? And then anybody who comes in here, their vibration will shift, right? Anybody that is hanging out with me today, their energy is going to shift. Anybody that hangs out with you after you listen to this or you're chanting this, their energy is going to shift. So know that your energy and your vibration will shift when we come into this, okay? So again, I'm going to have you come to a seat, get all nice and cozy. If you feel good doing this, to close your eyes, please let me know. And if you are unable to close your eyes, know that my eyes will be open the entire time. So if you're comfortable, close your eyes. If not, a soft gaze. You can bring your hands wherever they feel the most comfortable, so they could be face down on your knees to ground, face up to receive. You can place your hands on your heart if you would like. And then take a deep breath in here. Exhale out. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And just taking a few more breaths here to relax into the body. And as you're breathing, just listening to my words for a moment. The mantra that we're coming into is called Om Mani Padme Hum. And home sounds like I'm coming home. It's Hum. And so I will begin chanting while you are breathing. And then whenever you want, if you would like to join into the mantra, join into the chant, you are welcome to join. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale. Let it out through the mouth. Holding on to an intention of compassion and love. The direct translation of Om Mani Padme Hum is this idea of chanting to open Padme, which is the lotus. And the lotus can only grow in the mud and the muck. So giving yourself compassion and love and softness, because perhaps you have been through a lot. Perhaps it has been difficult. And perhaps your story around your worth, around your body image, around your financial journey, around your relationship journey, maybe your value isn't high enough yet. Maybe you forgot to add tax. And so I want you today to see where you can give yourself as much love and as much compassion as you can, because you forgot how amazing you are. And today you are going to come back to remembering and to giving yourself that compassion, to changing the story that you have around your worth, because you are so worthy and so valuable and so loved, and you deserve all of the compassion that is being given. So receive it. Blink your eyes open if they're not open already. Thank you guys so much for joining me this morning. Again, my name is Jenny. Please subscribe to my channel so that you can come hang out with me every Thursday. I will try to send out the link reminder on Thursday mornings. But if not, if you're subscribed to the channel, the little alert will likely come up when I do go live. I have a number of things going on in the next couple of weeks. So I announced my Black Friday specials this morning. I'm doing 40% off of cord cutting private sessions. I'm doing year-long tarot spreads. So it's a 45-minute meeting one-on-one, and I will pull 12 cards for you for the year. I will explain to you what your year layout looks like. The fine print on that is that you need to redeem that and or the cord cutting sessions before January 15th of 2022. And then I also have a little woo-woo on demand link that I'm releasing for $15. It includes a full Kundalini class, a restorative class, a couple of Kundalini meditations. I'll be adding one or two more little things in there before Thanksgiving. So it's not complete just yet, but there's a ton of fun stuff in there. And I also have the online yoga teacher training coming up. We start January 15th. And the online crystal healer course. If you want to learn about what it's like to become a crystal healer, I can certify you to do that. All of those things are certified through Yoga Alliance, so you will earn CEUs if that's something that you need. And all of that information can be found on my website. It's jennylaneyoga.com. If you have any questions at all, please let me know. Know that next week we'll be taking a gap week because it is Thanksgiving. Oh my gosh. But I promise that we will be back the Thursday afterwards. And if you guys have any questions in the meantime, please let me know. Again, please subscribe to my channel. And I hope that you have a beautiful, wonderful Thursday. Satnam. Bye, guys.